I developed the tool, which we give to our clients in the Silver and Wise business, and we give them this idea of 8 rooms in a business. So there's 8 rooms. You've got to spend time in each room. And one of those rooms is the strategy room. And the strategy room requires that you're setting goals and putting in place actions to achieve those goals in the future. It's the only future-focused room. The other rooms are all day-to-day operational stuff, but the strategy and leadership room is where you go to think about what could happen, the pros and cons. And
what are the other rooms?
It's not to say we can't... well, there's a marketing room, as you'd expect. There's a sales room. There's a quality management room. There's a people room. There's a money room. And there's an adapt and disrupt room, which is also the weather eye room, which is what's happening, what are the trends that are happening, how can you adapt, how do you disrupt yourself before somebody disrupts you?
When you say weather eye, do you mean like an eye on the weather?
Yeah, exactly. It's an old sailing term, apparently. I'm not a sailor, but I looked it up, and the idea was you've got one eye on the weather, one eye on the tiller, one eye on the weather, and then it just gives you an ability. People have probably heard the shepherd's term, which was it red sky at night, shepherd's delight, red sky in morning, shepherd's warning. It's this idea of looking into the distance.
Oh no, I get it, and
if you're running,
I'm always curious.
But it's just a fun way of thinking about it. It's going,
I'm always curious as to people's mechanisms for remembering, because if someone's listening to this and finds themselves in that situation, it's not that it hasn't crossed their mind before. It's that it hasn't crossed their mind enough because they don't have a dashboard or some red light blinking at them going, there's a glitch with your business here that needs addressing. So we have a weekly meeting.
Yeah.
And in that weekly meeting, every single person on the team needs to contribute something to the awareness list. And so we want people to tune into their awareness, right?
Perfect.
And we don't care what it is. It could be a problem. It could be some kind of an issue. It could be an opportunity, or it could be a threat. But the idea is that you need to add at least one thing every single week. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to address those things, but it's interesting to have everyone on the team. We get a different perspective of the opportunities. So Shu in IT is giving us, potential opportunities around technology that are coming up for efficiency, etc., or threats, right? Like, server needs to change, and this, provider we're on is not effective and won't let us scale beyond this many users, or whatever it is. I would never have come up with that in a million years in my diary. And so I think having that team thinking about those things as well is pretty key.
Yeah, whether it's team or stakeholders. I mean, my stakeholders are my licensed advisors, so each one of them have got this. I've got one of them that's responsible for looking at tenders that are coming. So he'll say, "Hey, I saw a tender we can go for," and we'll go, "Yep, that's a good one." Or the rest of the team will say, "No, that's probably a bit outside our wheelhouse. We won't go for that." So it is about. I mean, everybody has a responsibility that's connected to the team. My accountants have a responsibility, even though they're an employed, outsourced contractors. They still have a responsibility about future
or
me.
explicit?
So if something changes. No. Every outsourced contractor that we use has a job description as well.
Talk to me a bit about that, because I think of team in the same way. When I say team, most people hear a full-time pay-as-you-go employee type thing. And when I say, no, your team includes suppliers, your team include, part-time contractors, etc. You get what you pitch for, right? They all need to be brought into the fold from that paradigm. And my paradigm is like, what's the outcome that they're committing to achieving for the business? And then how do we measure to that, as opposed to hiring a service? We're hiring an outcome. We're paying for an outcome. How do you do that?
I literally, with our organising board, or the tool we use for all the roles that have to be done in the organisation. Of course, I have a few different hats that I wear. Everyone has things that they're responsible for, and therefore they're given a written briefing on those responsibilities in relation to it. So if I engage somebody, and I do the same thing, so if a client comes to me in our marketing business and they say, we need some marketing done, okay, we'll have a conversation, we do a proposal, they engage us, one of the first things I do is give them my job description as their outsourced marketing department. And often that'll blow them away because they'll say, oh, so you're actually taking responsibility for these things. I say, yes, because you've engaged me to do that. You don't have anyone else in the business to do it. You're not trained to do it. That's why you've engaged me. So this is our responsibility. These are the things we have to report to you to make sure that we're doing the job. Because I'm saying to them, I'm building you a marketing system. I'm not building a job. I'm not building a job for myself. I'm trying to build a system so you can go on and then potentially employ someone else in the future. But while we're doing it, this is what
the commitment to an outcome blows people's mind.
Because,
it's like such a novel. It shouldn't be such a novel concept.
No, it shouldn't be. But it's all about your responsibility to those that you're connected to, in my opinion. You know, if you ask somebody to do a job, there's no point pissing and moaning when they don't do it if you didn't tell them what job you wanted them to do.